Hi, my friend. It's Pat Sloan here. So May is turning out to be leaving. It is very chilly. So I am filming this on Saturday, and we're having like chilly weather, long sleeves, and it is going to be days of rain, which my plants are very happy about. I feel like I live in Brussels, or if you've never been there, Seattle. It's similar weather, rain, drizzle, cool, but it's fine. It's fine. It's fine. The flowers are looking great. Okay, I have a few things. First of all is the Socialites block, which came out on Friday over at the Fat Quarter Shop's website. So there is what it is. It may actually come out Thursday night. I think some of you check and maybe it's there sometimes. Let me show you. I put a bunch of them on the wall so we could see mine together. Let's take a look. Ooh, they look so pretty. Very light, refreshing, summery colors in that sort of medium to light blues, the pinks and reds. I think the pinks and the light blues really add to that feel. Now there's only 3 more rows. There's a row of 4, a row of 3, and a row of 4. And then we get the settings. So, and remember there was settings for the previous years, and so if you felt like you wanted to do one of those settings that you didn't get a chance to do last time, maybe you didn't do that year, you could go ahead and even use it now. It's all out on Fat Quarter Shop's website. So there you go. There you go. I am loving it. They really are giving that very Americana feel. Like I told you before, or maybe you forgot, but if you want to make it even more red, white, and blue, just don't put in the green for that particular rosy line, and then it'll give that really red, white, and blue look. Okay, I want to talk about the Liberty Bell pattern. Oh, it's over there. I'm going to show you a close-up in a minute. But that's the one that I'm going to do with the state fabrics. And the state fabrics, I have all the states plus a lot of the territories. DC. These are fabrics that those of you in the community sent me, and I collected up, and I've saved enough to do multiple quilts if I were going to. I'm not going to, but I have enough to select from that's variety, and I'm looking to always have the state name for the strips. So I decided that instead of the stars on the outside, here, let me pop a picture up while I'm talking. Instead of those stars on the outside, I'm going to do piano keys to fit in the longer state words that are on most of the fabrics. They just don't fit in the centers of those squares. So that's the plan. And the other day, I was like, picked fabric. I saw the fabric was in the store online, so I'm like, okay. And then when I went to go order it, some of the fabrics weren't there anymore. So then I lost track of doing that and just realized I have not ordered the fabric yet. So let me walk you through what I'm doing with it and see how that looks. I have the fabric stuff for the Liberty Bell pulled out. So, and now you know that I had not ordered the fabric. You know, I don't know why I didn't. I thought about it, but anyways, as I just told you. So first, let's take a look at the background and my thought process for that. I had decided that my friend Suzanne was using kind of a grunge for her bell, and I thought that was just a perfect, it gives that texture, and I think that would be great. So I want to use the light gray where the tan on this drawing is, and then the darker gray up here. And I'm not sure what I'll use for those stripes, but I'm going to use a navy print, not solid, but a print and not the grunge for up here, and probably there, but these might be something different, whatever will contrast enough with this dark. But I thought I would put it on the white background, white base, something like this, or one of the other basics, like my friend, I think it's Bev has one that has more sparkles on it. But then I started thinking a lot of the fabrics for the states are warm colors. Well, of course I'm showing you there, but lots of warm colors. See, like tans and dark colors. And I thought that, because I'm going to make piano keys all around out here to get all the state fabrics in instead of stars. So I thought, maybe this is not the best for all those warm tones. So I switched. And I am going to use instead from Blue Mill, the Virginia Quilt Museum line, this fabric. Because it's still, I wanted something in the background, for the background here, that is not solid. I don't want solid. And I like this bigger print. And it's got that warm, it's kind of a taupe, so it's got that warm tone. The gray bell will pop off of here just fine. So that's what I'm going to go with. I'm going to go with that. Now, the fabrics, I have got these two and this one, and then what I had already pulled and was looking at in here. So all that's not going to use. So there are the fabrics, and my first goal will be to get the 13 colonies and DC for the middle. Those will be all those stars. Then I will go through everything else and pull everything of each state that cannot fit a star at all. Then if there are some ones that are smaller, so I don't want to really lose them in a piano key, I will see how many of those there are, and maybe there's 5 or 6 or 10, and then I will draft to make those around here. If there happen to be just 4, I'll probably just put them in the 4 corners and balance it out. But who knows? Who knows what they'll be. So I just want to see what I have. So that is the whole process I have to do now. I have to go through and sort all of the fabrics to see how big the state is, so I know what I'm dealing with. I am really happy with this choice decision, and I think using the Blue Mill for the background is this going, and it's a taupe, so it's not like a cream. I wanted to stay away from cream, so it's getting more of a taupe feel, which is a little bit more gray than yellow, for those of you not familiar with it. And I think that's going to turn out perfect. In the center, I will pull some red, white, and blue for the stars, for the star points. So that's going to work out. I have to do the heavy lifting of sorting through and actually making the selection of fabric by state. And I will probably film doing parts of that and just show you some snippets of it, because it's going to be a little bit tedious to weed through them, but that's it's fun to take a look at some of it. I'll show you when I do it. I haven't done it yet. All right, let's look. I have a few things to show you. I've been keeping all of the information things from the plants and making these just little bundles. Like one year I bought a book and I thought, oh, that would be great. I'll put them all in a book. But that didn't happen. And so I've been keeping them in my shaker, the wooden shaker basket here. And I have got quite a few years, 24, 23, and how far back? There's one from 2019. So I can go back, and I know, like, when I bought the hydrangeas, they're like the ones that I'm like, well, how do I handle them? Which ones did I get? So anyways, I just thought I'd show you what I've been doing. If you tell me in the comments here, YouTube, if you do something like this. On the wall, I decided I got these panels and I wanted to put them up to think about them, because I'm pretty sure I'm just going to take this coffee panel, put a backing and batting, do some wave stitching, a binding, and be done, because I just like the panel as it is. It's all these kind of vintagey Mad Max kind of artwork. Marvelous Mod Mocha. Look at that. It's just, I love the graphics. Go-Go Mojo. Oh my goodness. They're just so fun. Manly Mojo. Espresso Italiano. There's a little coffee hut. She's got coffee cups for sunglasses. Yeah, it's just, they're fun. Just fun stuff. I also got, like, I don't do chickens. I'm not a farm girl. I always think of myself as a city girl. But these, these just spoke to me. I just thought they were so darn cute. I'm like thinking, well, what would I do? Could I make like one of them into a pillow and then make a table runner with just some sashing between them? I could also do a vertical. Like, I was thinking I could take sashing or just 2.5-inch squares around and make like a vertical banner for that spot in by my front door, between the front door and the window towards the stairs. So, yeah, so I just think they're cute. And look at this. Look at that. I love the little details on it. just so, so darling. The other thing I did was spiff up my bags. I got a rainbow for the pink one and these absolutely crazy strawberries. I saw them on this group where they show how they decorate their handbags, and they have all kinds of these realistic, they're actually very heavy, but I thought, oh my gosh, they are so stinking cute, and they'd be great on the red one. All right, and two last things. One is an epic final at the end. But before that, I have a quilt parade of some of your good company in progress. My friend Carrie's, oh my goodness, I love her fabrics. There's a paisley in that red, which is also repeated in the center of the stars. And the blue has this beautiful little floral bundle. It's so gorgeous. Helga did not only a quilt top, but a table runner. Look at that. The brown and the blue is such a classic combination. Jocelyn, oh my goodness, look at these awesome fabrics. The aqua, the pinky red, and she had a different red on the outer edges of each of the stars than what is in the center. Look how pretty this is. She said she's getting ready to sew them together. Joyce showed us one of her blocks with the blue mill fabric, and it's different blue mill fabrics than I used in mine. Look how pretty this is. Love it. And many of you watched Kendall's video on how to make this, and here is his version. Oh my goodness. And he only used 2 fabrics plus the background, so 3 fabrics total. So for those of you wondering how that would turn out, there you go. Here are Pam's blocks. Oh, they are looking so awesome. Beautiful, beautiful fabrics. And Susie shared her top done with my Morrison Park fabrics. Oh my goodness, look how wonderful. And she did a whole bunch of different colors. So if you were wondering how that was going to look, it's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. She has some of the blocks like 2 blues, 2 greens, 2 pinks, 2 reds. So she doubled the blocks, but then you can see the settings are all of the different fabrics that she used in all the blocks. Thank you everybody for sharing, and if you haven't shared yet, you can go put it in my Facebook group, Quilt Along with Pat Sloan. I really appreciate seeing all of your versions, and if you want the kit that's like mine, there are still some kits left, and it's got such a great color scheme for celebrating the 250th anniversary of the United States. So if you have been looking for a project, this is a really, really forgiving one. It's very easy. You can do that smaller size like Kendall did on his video and some of the other friends have done, or you could do a bigger size. All right, my epic finish is London Town with binding. Let's take a look. Yes, I'm wearing the same thing here in this segment as last week, because as soon as I finished taping that segment, I taped last week, I taped this segment because it was on my mind, and London Town, the binding was done, the label was done, and I just wanted to talk about it. One of the really interesting things about being a maker is that for me, you know, for all the years that I've been quilting, most of it has been business. So like I would make something and then have to have it ready either for a book, a pattern, a trade show, a magazine, whatever. And so I would complete them all the way through. But there was always sideline projects that I was doing just for myself or just to try something out or whatever. And they may have gotten quilted, but not the binding put on, because there was no purpose for it. It didn't have anywhere it had to go, and the other things had a mega high priority. And so that stack was the way it was. And over 25 years of being in business, or more than 25 years, it became a habit. It became a habit. If the project didn't have any place that had to be, or didn't want to hang it right away, it went on the shelf as binding that needed to be done. Well, I must say that this quilt was the very last one sitting there that needs binding. You know, it was already quilted, it was just waiting for binding. It's the very last one. And it's a weird feeling. It's a weird, not in a bad way or a good way. It's just, you know, I don't have that. And I had always thought, well, I would break that habit at some point. And now I have. It's really strange. And the other day I had mentioned, did I mention it on here? Or I may have no, I think I may have mentioned it on my email that goes out every week, that I try to do it every week. So if you need that, the link is in the description box and the pinned comment here and at my website. So I mentioned that, as you know, I did a little segment about being a maker, but it was long and rambling, and I said maybe I'd redo it someday. But I thought I'd just talk a little bit about being a maker, because for me, the whole process, the excitement is sort of making it. When it's done, often I don't care. I don't care about it anymore. I'm on to making the next thing, because I just like the making part. I don't have to have a purpose for what I made. I don't have to have some places going. It doesn't have to be given to anybody. And I know we all work differently. There are many people who work like me, but there's many people who you work singly, you know, one project at a time. There's many people who, when they do a project, they have to know where it's going, whether it's a gift or they're going to use it or it's for charity or whatever. They don't just make without a purpose, and I make without a purpose. And so that is just how I've always been hardwired. I'll tell you a short little story. When I was a young preteen, you know, or, you know, very young teen, 13, something like that, my parents used to buy me different crafts to try, because they're not makers, they're not crafters, they have no clue. And so they would just randomly pick things up and give them to me, and I try them out. So I did like a diorama, in a bell jar. So it was a glass bell jar with a little nature scene in it, you know, so it wasn't very much stuff. And I finished that, and I put it by the on the end table by the sofa, where the one and only phone in the house was. Well, my dad reached over to answer the phone and crashed it onto the ground and busted it up about, you know, the day I finished it, maybe, or the day after, and he felt really, really bad. But I didn't care. I didn't care, because I made it, and it was like, well, okay, that's done. I'm on to something else. And so that's how I've always been. So to wrap up for London town, oh my goodness. And I'll do another close-up here. I'll take the other camera and show you the label I did on the back. But I am so kind of excited to have nothing sitting on the shelf that needs to have binding. Here it is. That's the backing, which was very fun to do. My friend Kathy gave me this big piece of fabric, and I had collected this years and years and years ago. Our friend Donna, I believe it was, sent me this embroidered piece. And then there is the patch that came from the designer. When I said I was going to be doing this, she sent that to me. So my friend Karen quilted it for me in this very geometric. There you can see it. So there we go. London town, the back. Woohoo! Did I hang it up yet? No. It's got a red, white, and blue feel to it, so I think I'm going to hang it in my hallway when I switch everything out. I think I'll just do it then, rather than putting it up now and then taking it down. The mushrooms are there now to my staircase. I think that's where I'm going to put it, unless I put it in my dining room. That's my other spot. I might put it in the dining room and enjoy it there, but it'll get up. It'll get up for the 4th of July. London, England, and the 4th of July. Of course, they all go together, right? All right, my friend, I love you. Mwah. Thank you for being here in the Sloan Zone. Enjoy the rest of your May, and I'll see you online.